tell me, man, like where'd you grow up, bro? Where were you born? Man. Where you representing?
Man, I grew up. Man, two spots.
Okay.
Right. I grew up in St. George area.
Yep.
And we moved between Sutherland and Shire. So, Hurstville.
Yep.
Originally, then till I was 8, then we moved to Menai.
Shit.
For like nearly 7 years, and then I moved back to the St. George area. And man, you know the reputation the Shire holds, man. Man, that fully straight up. I'm talking like racial fights at school, like a lot of the time, man. I remember when I went to my second day at school at Menai Public.
Could you be, I used to joke with this is Double L, sorry to interject, but he'd be like, because Double L's pretty fucking white.
Yeah, yeah.
But he's not. He's like, you know, European. He's like,
yeah.
In the Shire, I'm fucking brown.
Yeah, yeah, straight up.
And he's white, you know what I mean?
Straight up, 100%. So that concludes and pretty much puts in a nutshell what I'm just about to tell you.
Yes.
Right? On my second day of school, right, look at my skin. You want to see my skin. I'm on some yellow caramel shit, you know?
Yellow mel.
Some oriental Wagarama shit. You know what I mean? So
Oriental
Wagarama. Yeah. Oriental Wagarama.
Yeah,
you know,
you can't tell. Can't pin it.
You can't tell, yeah.
No. Who
And,
knows where
on the second day of school, I got called the N-word. Right? This is maybe, what was it, 1980, I don't know, 86, God. You know, and
Your worst 86.
And I mean, there was small splashes of colour in the area, but got called out on the second day of school in Menai Public School. So yeah, like Double L. Double L is like my B, but it's a different tone. But anyway, I mean, long story short, man, the Shire has evolved a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's like any area in Sydney, people are going to move and gravitate towards where the majority of where they feel comfortable. And the Shire is still like that, I guess, in certain ways, but no. Come a long way.
Straight up. What about Hurstville, man? Like, that's a fucking interesting one.
Oh, man, Hurstville, yeah.
That's a bit of Goonville right there.
Yeah.
Shout out to
straight
Enter.
Up. Yeah, man. He's like, I never met him because he was like the generation...
After.
Yeah,
just after you.
I think after.
Oh, no. Just after.
Just after, I think, yeah. And, when those years in Hurstville, I was writing as well. But, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
So back and forth between St. George area and the Shire.
That's what I wanted to ask about you, and I sort of had it as a question, but I actually took it out because I don't know that element of you. But I know as far as, and fuck, I suppose we'll talk about this a bit later, but, you know, your era that you grew up in, bro, was still very fucking, you know, like a lot of riders.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Like riding and fucking and hip hop really, as far as element sort of vibe, really went hand in hand. So, did you get into like the whole grafting much?
Yeah, I did, man. I went hard out for like 2 years, a year, I think, something like that.
Really?
But you know, shouts out to all my rider friends from my era. You know, very grateful to meet some and become friends with like people from that era, like some greats from that era. But yeah, look, it was beautiful, man. Like those underground gigs back in the day. You know, we call them underground gigs now, but back in the day, that's all it was. You know, there was no mainstream.
There was no higher level to that.
It was just gigs,
underground. That's
shows,
it.
and it was underground, and that was it. You know, if you know, you know.
What a time!
Yeah, you know.
What a time to be alive.
It was beautiful because the thing is that you go to a show, and I kid you not, this shit was like, you know, on some Beach Street shit. I'm not fucking kidding you. Like,
no, bro. Mystery said the same shit.
Yeah, man. It was on some Beach Street shit, bro.
It's fucking crazy. There's a whole pocket of fucking like history. The cunts just don't even. Yeah. If you weren't there, you just don't know.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And you didn't live it. Let me ask you a question, because this is actually like I didn't know when to inject this shit, right?
Yeah.
But you're a bit of a fucking drip lord, aren't you?
Oh, we drip lord.
Listen, here's my question for you, right? Because let's be honest, right? There's a lot of people in Australian hip hop that don't know how to dress.
You reckon? You know I love the discounts, man, but I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna start going.
No. Don't hear me out. I'm not here to fucking tell cunt who it is, right?
Yeah.
But you know, like with hip hop, and you know, I like the discounts, but style's a bit of a sensitive issue.
I'm trying to change, man. I'm all
no,
about,
it's not about
I'm
that.
all about positive new and improved.
Oh, shut the fuck. Shut the fuck up. But no, it does interest me because, you know, for me personally as well, there's been an element always of like fucking fashion moves and shit like that, and a lot of that shit come from the whole polo era, the whole New York shit, right? And so, like, you know, my question to you: when did like really taking care of, you know, how you're looking sort of come into the picture?
It's a hard one, man.
It's a bit of an obscure one as well.
Yeah, that's a hard one. Like, you know, it just goes part and parcel, man. You know,
You'd like to think that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you want to look like a, you know, you want to rap, you got to look like a cool cunt, man. You know, that's pretty much what attracts people to, you know, hip hop culture, man. It's all about looking cool, looking fly, looking jiggy. You know, I mean, like I'll speak on an era in Aussie hip hop in the late '90s, and you know, none of that was important at all.
No, well, yeah.
None of that was important at all. You know, and there was.
Remember, they'd wear jeans and they'd go like to the floor, and then they just get like a massive hole cut behind at the back of the jean, and then they just still wear it like that.
Yeah, it's messy.
So when did it come in? Was it in that era when it was like, you know, you had to have the mad shit? I mean, whether or not you got it legit or not, you still had to have it?
Well, all I can remember, I seriously can't remember a defining moment where I go, you know what, I've seen this motherfucker wear this, that's what I want to wear. That's what I want to do. No, I do not remember a defining moment.
What about shoes? Sort of thing?
Shoes, it was always...
Because for me, I feel like shoes, for me, really kicked in like that basketball era.
Yeah, maybe
I remember being in fucking primary school and like literally I couldn't even keep my eye on what was going on because I'd be like fucking obsessed with what was on my feet.
You know what? Maybe you tell me what kicked it off for you, because then it might spark some memories. Because
it was the whole Jordan shit. It was the whole Jordan shit. Barclays. It's when like, you know, you couldn't afford to get it. You know what I mean? So it was just out of your reach. You couldn't get it, but you knew your mate's older brother had the new fucking J's, right? Or the new fucking Air Max, and it just looked fucking 10 times cooler and cleaner than anything that was in Kmart.
Dude, I remember I had a couple of, you know, rich friends. You know, if you went to the States with your family, you know, back in the day, you were rich.
Bro.
Shout outs to Jimmy Farduli. He probably won't see this, but Jimmy, I remember he was a pretty good friend. Then he came back from the States, and he had this whole rack of Tommy Hilfiger and some Fat Farm.
Oh.
He had some Fat Farm. And
wasn't it Russell Simmons? That was Russell Simmons.
Yeah, that's Russell Simmons thing.
Fucking knows.
And he had some Wu-Tang jerseys. He came back, and I was just like,
fuck.
I was so jealous, man. I used to get mad jelly if those kids would come back with all those fresh gears. Like, my parents hooked me up a little bit, you know?
Yeah, where they could.
Yeah, when they could. But I was like look at these kids, man. They were like, I was like, give me that shit.
Bro, I used to borrow shit of people as well. Like, actually, see these... Man, like these are Reebok questions that have just come back in. This is Allen Iverson's rookie shoe, right? And the first time I ever had this shoe is when I actually borrowed it off a mate, you know? And like he'd let me wear it, I'd fucking wear it, I'd take care of it, and then I'd return it to him. And then I'd be like, oh, hey man, you reckon I can get those questions again for, you know, like for this or this, that, you know? Actually, man, shout out to one of my mates for school, Samisi. I lent him a pair of fucking Iverson Answers one time, right? And so Missy was playing him, he brought him back, bro, and he just handed him to me. He's like, here you go, bro. Like, no worries. And I'm like, oh, cheers, bro. And then I'm like, this cunt had busted a whole fucking foot hole in the front, bro. His whole shit went straight to the front. And he tried to just hand him off like nothing happened with a bit of glue on it. It was like, fuck. That's why you don't lend your shit sometimes. But, you know, shout out to some Missy.
Do you remember... in Bankstown city limits,
Of course, I'm in fucking city limits.
Am I tripping, or did they have an NBA store in there as well? There's one in Darling Harbour.
No, it wasn't NBA, but I know the one you're talking about. Like up the stairs, and it would be tucked just down behind. They had all the official
You buy
shit.
starter jackets.
Yeah.
You know,
100%.
hats, jackets, even baseball jerseys.
Baseball jerseys.
Yeah, baseball jerseys. If you had, like, I had a Charlotte Hornets one, bro, with the whole patch on the back and Hornets in the felt.
Are you talking about the starter jacket?
Starter
Bomber.
The baseball tops. You know, had a baseball fit.
Yeah.
You know, but they had for the NBA.
Yeah.
I had a Charlotte Hornets one, bro. That was hectic.
Bro, NBA store in Darling Harbour. You just said that shit. That was real.
That was real. No one talk about that shit.
Babe, there was a whole NBA store in Darling Harbour. Darling Harbour was funny back then.
That's the sad thing. I want to touch on the topic of shout outs to all parents out there. You know, remember Sega World?
Of course I fucking remember
Man,
Sega World, man.
like, dude, there's just no big mecca for the kids to go
But
anymore,
even before Sega World, bro, remember the courts in Darling Harbour?
The courts in Darling Harbour.
Bro, that was where a lot of mess...
I had a brawl with VIP there. It was crazy. It was Philos, man, jumping up and down, throwing basketballs, brawls. Oh, it was hilarious. But
skinny but ripped.
Yeah. Like, it's sad, man. Like, there's no big mecca place for kids to hang no more. You know what I mean? It's all foodie.
I mean,
shit.
a lot of goon shit used to go on as well, but
Yeah.
I will say that too. So you know, maybe it's good that they're safe. Fuck, I can't remember now. How do you feel about
Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, hang
So
on.
talk about affiliations,
the
crews.
name. Your name, where'd it
Oh,
come
your name,
from?
yeah, Clean, yeah. And so the track was called Mr. Clean.
Yep.
And like I said, I was writing a lot of horrorcore and triple X rated porno raps. I was, I'm going to call myself Mr. Clean. You know. And then later on, I learned it was like a Latin sort of loosely named around an assassin, Mr. Clean. You know. And then there was I think who else did a song? It was Millen Collin. They did a song called Mr. Clean. But anyway, I wrote that name for a while. I had that name for a while, and then I was like, you know what? The age came with, so motherfuckers are using their real name, Kendrick Lamar, Lee Monroe. Yeah, I was just like, fuck. You're damn right. And I was kind of like, it's like, because there was another Mr. Clean as well in America, some commercial like a trap bling rapper as well.
Commercial trap bling rapper.
And there was another Mr.
Don't want to be
Clean
associated
rapper
with
as
that.
well. That was I think he was Latin as well.
It's fucking up your Spotify, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was fucking. I got to change that shit.
It's fucking with my streams.
So I had to change that. I had to find a name. Andrew, and fucking Raul Sleepy Monk used to call me Blasto, because when we would get blasted, I'd just be blasting, like I'd be loud, I'd be blasting all over the place. You know what I mean? He used to call me Blasto. So I was like, you know what? I'll go Drew and Blast. And that was it.
Stuck with it ever since.
Yeah, bro.
Talk to me about this, right? So, which was what was actually fucking really dope was, I got back into it pretty heavy, obviously.
Yeah, we both did.
Well, yeah. Well, where I was going with it was I got into it pretty heavy. Actually, initially I didn't know how to come back in, because I'd just done the whole Fit Kid shit. Coming back, it had been a couple of years, and the game had changed quite a bit at that time, and like the inspiration was, I knew I wanted to fucking do some shit again, but I didn't know sort of where it was gonna go. And then I saw Elo on my would have been Facebook, and he had done a track called No Name Fame. And the thing I fucking loved about him, Ella's got a dope flow and all that, but like what he was talking about was just being a normal cunt.
Yeah,
and for me, I was like, here's this guy, not flexing, can flow, can rap, killing it, I just want to go out and do a track with him, go out, do one track turns to 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. Next minute we're a duo, right? But that's where, like, you know, you were coming back in pretty heavy around that time. We were there, you know. I know you said that with a Vengeance, was 2014. Yeah, but you were still active and on our shit in 2012.
That was 2012.
2012.
Yeah, word.
Yep. So, you know, coming back into the game and fucking seeing what it was like and how it changed and what inspired you to turn around and be like, nah, fuck this, I got something to say, I need to get active again, you know. What brought you in? And, you know, because I remember you doing some Catalyst shit. Yeah. Right? And doing some fucking pretty big stages, bro.
Yeah, like, man. Shouts out to Catalyst, man. Because he was... He had a good place, and he's a very talented producer, man. Still one of the best this country has.
Word up.
When it comes to straight up grassroots hip hop with a slight experimental vibe to it, you know. And it was kind of like, because like I said, shout outs to Overproof, which was Swami and Abuse.
Yep.
We all live together, and Fame. Shouts to Fame as well.
Yeah, man.
Another pillar of what we hear now.
Yeah.
And so I kind of knew all these guys, and a lot of people who were active in the Australian hip hop scene sort of knew who I was because they knew I was affiliated and I've done this and done that on the underground tip, and I kind of was like, you know. Hilltop Hoods had blown up. Aussie hip hop was getting played on the radio, and like I said, I was a weekend dad, you know. And this went, and I was just like, you know. Then I met my wife. Shout outs to Astrid, and got married and settled in a little bit, and it was kind of like Aussie hip hop had been like 2 years, 3 years, maybe even 4. Bigger, solid, bigger. I couldn't believe it. Like I said, they were playing on the radio. You know what I mean? I was just like, you know what?
Word.
I need to fucking do something. I need to do some shit.
I need to do this shit.
You know, so I had a wife that was supportive, and I started putting energy into that first album, that With a Vengeance album.
Yeah, hectic album.
Yeah, and shout out to Coloured Noise as well. He helped me out a lot of that. You know, he's still another one of the most talented producers.
Still to this fucking day, man. Coloured Noise.
Yeah.
New shit.
Yeah.
New shit. Exclusive.
New shit. And
keep an eye out.
We met because my wife was friends with Jeremy Coloured Noise, his sister. They grew up together. You know.
Oh.
Yeah,
really?
Indonesians, you know, we all...
Indos, fucking old. Indos, fucking...
Yeah.
Fucking know each other and shit.
That's it. And, we did our first song in, like, 2011.
What was that?
Hard Yak.
Hard Yak!
Yeah.
Basket case.
Yeah. And, and then we kind of started working on an album, man. And that came out, like, pretty much 2-3 years later. And that was it. First album. And it was received well, and you know, a lot of people were excited, and because I knew I'd been rapping for years, and I finally put out something.
Yeah, man.
And the launch was awesome.
It was a fucking dope launch.
You at the launch.
The artwork was awesome. The T-shirt, I still got the T-shirt. T-shirt was awesome. Who did the artwork?
Shout outs to Kath Love. She's a half Asian bird. She's in like Hong Kong now, but super talented cartoon style. Oh, I know you love that cartoon style.
Bro, hectic.
She's really dope.
I still say to this day, one of the best fucking... I got it in my cupboard, and I'm always like... Oh, when that fucking stupid ass band, support your local band T-shirt day comes around, where all the dickheads are wearing the T-shirt. I'm gonna put that shirt on because like that's the one, and I'll fucking rep that one, and then I always fucking miss it, and like I'm always but I got it.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, you got you know how you had, I don't know if you remember, you had the Oz Hip Hop Awards. Do you remember that? It went for like 2-3 years.
Wait, hang on a minute. What, on what? Not on Oz
online. It was online.
OzHipHop.com.
I can't remember.
Oz Hip Hop Forums.
Yeah, fuck that thing.
Fuck, man.
But but I don't know, some Oz Hip Hop
times on there
site, and that got nominated for one of the best covers. Didn't win, unfortunately, but
should have.
Yeah. No, whatever.
Bye.